Here's how date night is going with the old cougar here. I pulled the seat out, it's in my way. It's junk anyways, needed to come out. But I got some wiring issues to solve. And from the rats mating in here for 11 years and leaving paw prints and all types of crap over the windows and rat crap everywhere, they've chewed through most of the wiring and power something on and something else comes on that shouldn't be on. There's gonna be so many things I gotta figure out wiring wise. I'm actually considering rerunning power to certain components and switches separately from the factory stuff. I can't even begin to trace where some of this stuff goes. I found some wiring diagrams though that'll help me out. We'll figure it out eventually. I got 4 hydraulic remotes. Really nice to have all 4 with a tractor this big. This is your range shifter for your transmission, high and low. And this is your range shifter for your transfer case, high and low. And then you got your 5-speed shifter in the center. Reverse being all the way to left and up, first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. And then this guy here is your throttle. That's an idle, that's full throttle. And this is a decelerator pedal, so push on it and it slow your idle down more. Singular brake, no split brake, and then your clutch pedal in the shadow there. Steering column. I have to find a steering column too because there's something missing right here. Should be a turn signal lever. There's just a hole. And every time I power the dash on with the main bus there, everything that this switch is supposed to do comes on. The wipers come on, the 4-ways and the turn signals come on. None of that should be on, but I don't have anything to control it or mess with it. I definitely have to find something to either fix that or find another column with one in it and pull it from it. There's your gear pattern and all the different gears to choose from, and the gear selection for the range. Here's what the dash kind of looks like. Tachometer goes right there in the center. It's just sitting down below. Kind of a neat tractor. Not super roomy in the cab. You don't have a buddy seat or anything, but I ain't complaining. I ain't got anybody to bring with me. Brand new AC system, ready to rip. Gotta put refrigerant back in it and it'll be ready to go. Got a fire extinguisher, it's fully charged. Some ether, pipe wrench, some random tools and wrenches. A long ways to go with this dash. Not sure where to really start with the troubleshooting, but we'll start somewhere. This is kind of neat too. So this module is an emergency kind of deal where if one of your lights come on and your transmission or your motor or something loses pressure, there's an alarm on the back of that and it'll actually start buzzing and going off, letting you know something is really wrong. It's kind of neat. I can tell you it works because every time I plug the dash in, it goes off because nothing's plugged in right now. I have the motor all undone. Also told with this project that the hydraulic pump was beyond saving, and I can definitely say that was true. This is the drive gear for it. Shattered a bunch of teeth off it. Housing, the mounting bracket for the housing cracked this end. It's all scored and nasty and torn up on the inside. Here's the bearing. That should not be able to come out of there or free spin in there at all. Got score marks there on all the teeth. I mean, this one's all types of tore up. Look at that. So on tonight's special episode of Dirty Jobs, we are underneath the belly of the Cougar, and it is absolutely soaked in oil. But I got the motor mounts undone, and almost all the bell housing bolts undone. There's a couple left in it just to hold the motor. And I got all the wires, sensors, everything torn off the motor, so it's just about ready to come out. I'm going to take what few bolts are left out tomorrow, and that motor's coming out. Today's Saturday, and I'm going to take the motor out tomorrow. And Tuesday, I have a motor lined up for this. After going through the entire alphabet, A through Z, and then back to A, and now we're on like D or something. In terms of plans, like plan A, B, C, D, yeah, we're back to the start because looking at the 855, amazing option. I really want to do it. Unfortunately, they run an external oil pump for the motor to lubricate everything, which also means the injection pump's in the other hole for the timing cover, which is a huge disadvantage because then I would either have to piggy the hydraulic pump off the back of the oil pump for the motor and risk putting an overload on it, breaking the gear and hurting something, and losing pressure on both ends and completely obliterating everything I'm putting together, or figure out something else. And I really don't want to risk hurting everything I'm putting together, nor do I really know another way to do it that's not going to change everything in there, all the steel hardline and whatever else for the hydraulics. So we're going to go back to doing a 3406 cat motor swap, and I found one. I'm going to go pick it up here in a couple days. I'm trading this motor for it and some cash. It's got Jake boxes. I believe it has a compressor on it. Don't know 100% what condition it's in, but we'll see when the time comes. It's a 3406 Model A. It's not a B model. The B models ran the injection pump right up against the timing cover, similar to like how 3306 does here. It runs on the intake side though. This one runs on the exhaust side. So it runs the injection pump up against the timing cover. The A model I'm looking at actually runs an extension shaft and runs basically a drive shaft from the timing cover clear to the back of the block and drives the injection pump off the back of the block. I assume the idea of that is for clearance, because by doing that you can put a hydraulic pump on the bottom and not have that injection pump in your way, which is just what I need here, because the 3306 there is nothing on this side, just your mount for your hydraulic pump. It's ideal, but looking for more horsepower and a different motor altogether. And the injection pumps on the exhaust side on these 3306s. So this would be on the other side, and being an A model, instead of being all the way up here, it'll be clear back there, and I can work with the room for the hydraulic pump. Here's what we had going for the steering of this monster. Hydraulic lines coming from that tractor down here, and they ran up in, all the way up in there, and I tapped them into the lines for the steering hydraulics here, and then we just steered it off the remote of that tractor. Something else kind of neat, these tractors have a battery compartment hidden right underneath, right here. Just pick up on it, and that battery sits underneath your steps, and the cables run up under the frame. I've not seen a design like that before. I've seen batteries tucked like in behind the frame and stuff, but never underneath the deck like that. That's kind of neat. It's like this on both sides, so one battery each side. It's great big batteries, and surprisingly, after sitting for 11 years, they're dear batteries. They're holding a charge, so I'm praying I'm going to get to use them again, because they're like $600 a piece. Really don't want to pay for new ones. Here's what's left of the seat. I need a new seat real bad. I would get this one reupholstered, but it might even be cheaper just to find another one. And I thought this was kind of neat. Even the seats, the suspension had grease points. There's grease points all over this tractor. The hinges, the hydraulics, your clutch mechanism, all that. Every U-joint on it has a grease point. Unlike some tractors these days, like that one, which only has like 4 grease points on it, and then you have to replace all the bearings and stuff that fail that don't have them.
Last bolt. This is sketchy. Right over my head.
Yeah, that strap, I don't know why you're doing that.
Here.
Oh, yeah.
That should be it, but I'm going to double check. Oh. Come on!
3 hours later.
shaft, and it was doing this. It wouldn't let the throttle bearing go. And as soon as it let it go, the motor came out.
Gotcha.
First time I pulled a motor, so I'm not entirely familiar with it, but now I am.